Hey everybody, it's your girl Sherelle Renae.
And it's your girl Ashley.
And this is the Pair With Me podcast.
A podcast for constant evolution where we do the soul work, soul search, and soul therapy.
Yes, everything is intentional, y'all. Y'all know what it is. And today we have a very special guest, Mr. Rodney.
Hey, how you
Hey,
doing?
Rodney.
How you guys doing?
Oh, we all right? How you doing?
We doing good.
I'm good. I'm good. I can't complain. Or if I did, nobody would care anyway. So.
Are you sure?
Hey, listen.
Are you sure?
But man, people, you know what? People do care to the extent to where it doesn't bother them.
Right.
There we
If you
go.
make them uncomfortable, they be like,
They
all
be
right,
like,
now, I ain't asked for
you know.
all that. God damn, boy.
Okay. So yeah, y'all, we have Rodney, and before we get into everything, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Definitely.
Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you are aware when we drop new content. Make sure you do that, all right? And we're just gonna get into it.
Mr. Rodney, tell us a little bit about yourself. What is it that you do? You have your taxsmith on.
Yes,
Represent.
So, we all know it's tax season.
Yes.
We actually have a office right here in Metro West, and we had this location going for about 2 years now.
Okay.
Been doing taxes for about 15. So
Oh, wow.
this is what I do. I do taxes, bookkeeping. We're bringing in credit repair. I'm a mobile notary. Like, we're trying to do everything financial.
the works,
Yeah,
y'all.
that's
Okay,
it.
notary.
That is it.
All
Credit
right.
repair.
Yep.
Okay,
That's a
and
big
you also are a life coach as well, right?
I am. I'm a life coach. Mainly focused on relationships.
Okay.
I do have a podcast, Man Listen. It's out of Culture Radio.
Okay.
It's been on a little hiatus until get through the end of the year.
Right.
But hopefully
You gonna
coming
come back
back.
like, hey,
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Now, before we get into the tax thing, I just want to ask something. Are you a part of the Silver Fox Squad? Cause you giving zaddy, like you giving,
Silver
it's giving
Fox.
Silver Fox,
You
it's
know.
giving zaddy, it's giving just.
It's giving, you know, when they was doing the little Instagram things where
Yeah.
everybody was changing their outfit, they'd drop something, and you got
Yeah.
all the silver foxes coming out in their suits.
my
You know
life,
what?
my God.
Someone asked me about the Silver Fox Squad. And those guys, I mean, they're incredible men. They all are masters in their own selves, you know.
right.
But they're all a little bit older.
Ah.
I'm early
You just
40s.
wise. You
I'm
just
early
wise.
40s.
That's-
They're,
I mean,
you know,
Okay.
Let me just
No,
say
they
this,
be
y'all.
older.
I feel that because I'm only 34 and I have some grays as well, right? But that's that wisdom.
I call it stress, but okay.
See, I ain't claiming that.
No, see, I
Well,
woke
I
up
ain't
one
like
day
that.
and it's just happened.
Gotcha.
Like, I don't even know how it happened. It just
Yeah.
started, and then next thing I know, maybe a year later, it was completely white.
Right.
And everyone kept saying, diet, and I was like,
Oh, it looks good.
No, I just didn't want to pay for
He
the
look
diet.
good. You look good. Look, he look good.
No,
and he
you
look-
gotta embrace that white though.
Listen.
I like the white. I like the salt and pepper thing.
Yeah.
It's cute. I
Well,
like
it
that.
could have been worse. I could be going bald. So
or
it was
have a
like,
receding hairline.
yeah, it's not receding. I
Okay.
just haven't had a haircut.
And he got
Listen,
good hair,
listen.
he does.
So you gotta take the beard.
Gotta
Take the
take
beard.
it. Gotta take it.
Well, we love it, and he looks good. You look
Thank
good.
you.
You look blessed.
Thank you. I am. I'm very blessed. I'm very
I love
blessed.
that for you. Okay, so speaking of taxes, like, so when it comes to that, what does your tax preparation process look like?
So we do things in 3 steps. First, we'll put all your information in our system. Then we'll ask you some questions to see where we can get you back the maximum, but legally.
Right.
Legally.
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 Oh man.
Some people are saying it like turn.
And then what we do is we give you what you're going to get back and minus our fees. And it's just that simple. Now, a lot of people complain, and I do hear this a lot, your fees are high. But it's like, yeah, but what am I giving you?
Right.
You know, you go to a tattoo artist, you go get somebody that does it cheaper. It ain't going to look like that artwork you want to put
That's
down.
true.
So, you know, you have to look at what is it worth to you.
Right.
You know, and we
Because if
go.
I'm getting 15 grand, you could take your little $600, $700.
You know,
okay.
but it's more than just that. It's when we do taxes through our office, we are actually representing you to the IRS.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So if the IRS have any questions, we can speak on your behalf.
I see.
We can
I
speak
got
the
it.
language that
Right.
you're not
Privy
normally
to or
speaking.
don't know. Right.
Now, how many times somebody got audited, they called a tax person and do numbers disconnected. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to understand what you're getting into. But
Got
a lot of people think tax returns are a come up. and they're not.
Right.
They're not a come up.
It's temporary, first of all.
Well, it's not just temporary. It's a loan. You loan the government this amount of money throughout the year. They're just giving you back what they took.
What you got you.
You know, and then what they do is they design taxes to where they're going to give you back as much as they think they can get away with giving you back. So if you don't go to a real tax professional who actually knows the tax code, which is 739 pages, how you know you're getting back the most?
Right.
You know, so
makes sense.
That's what we do. We provide that type of service.
Awesome. So you guys, if you are interested in anything like that, please make sure you reach out. We will leave all of his information in the description box just so you're aware, because it's so important, and especially around tax time, you guys. Let's just be smart about how we go about things, and let's be intentional with our steps.
Right.
Like that word. Money, intentional.
Yeah, we use that a lot in here. So just a quick question about that. What are some things to look out for this tax season that are probably different from last? Because I know last year we had like the extra income, the extra credit for like COVID and things like that.
So last year we did have a lot of tax breaks for COVID. When you were out of work, we had what is called the look back credit. You can use your adjusted gross income from 2019 to claim your taxes in 2021. What also changed was last year. So we have a thing that's called the child tax credit. You have kids, everyone knows. You get kids, you see the signs out of work. One kid, 3,000, and so on and so forth. Well, last year everyone got the maximum, but the child tax credit is income based, and we don't understand that. It depends on how much you make, depending on how much of that maximum you actually get. Last year everyone got the maximum. You got the $3,600 some odd dollars. This year, if you didn't bring in the income that deserves it, you're not going to get it. So there's people from last year that were getting $12,000, $13,000 that's only going to get back $1,500 to $2,000 this year.
Oh goodness, that's a large drop.
Yeah,
that's a large drop.
That's crazy.
They about to be us.
That's why you should get an expert. Get someone that knows the actual tax system.
Not your cousin.
We're trying to have all these kids for tax.
Everybody got that.
Not
I know
your
somebody.
I know somebody for you that could do it. Like, no, I want a professional. Let's do this the right way.
Yeah. There's always somebody out there trying to do taxes. I'd be like, give you my social. What do I look like?
Like, no.
Well, see, you know what? What I found out is not just that. It's not just I don't trust you with my information. A lot of people, they're embarrassed. It's a pride thing.
Yeah.
I won't go to somebody I know because I don't want them to see how I'm really doing in life.
Exactly.
You know, like when I'm outside, you think I'm living the best life.
Out here, I'm out.
You know what I'm saying? But then when I look at your money,
because don't nobody know your business like your tax preparer and the bank.
There we go. There we go. So
I understand that. So I guess my next question would be, as it relates to that, like, say if somebody has like a side hustle, are there like any complications that may come with a side hustle as it relates to just, you know, taxes or the IRS or whatever?
Do you mean complications?
Complications such as like, if they maybe, because you know people lie.
Yes.
You know people lie. So say if that person lied and they say they have this side hustle, but they really don't, but they forge that on their taxes or whatever. Like, are there any repercussions to that?
Oh yeah, you can be audited. If the IRS determines that a business you claim is not a business, or you cannot support what you put on your tax return, they're going to take that money back. And they'll take it. They're going to tell you. They're going to give you some chances first. All right, they're going to send you a letter and say, okay, I see you have a business. What records do you have to prove you have this business? And most times people don't have it. If they're doing it the malicious way, or if they go into a tax preparer that's padding their resume, like I like to call it, they don't have the supporting documents, so the IRS take it. Right. But the IRS is smart. They're not going to audit you this year. They're not going to audit you next year. They're going to wait 3 years later to audit you. Okay. So not only do they want that money back, you're going to have a tax penalty for those 3 years that you owed that money.
And that's what I wanted to know, because there's a lot of people that do a lot of strange things. So that's for you scammers
who got away with it last year. Might get away with it this year.
Rodney.
Listen they gonna get their money.
By the third year,
they gonna get their money. Listen.
So don't be doing no funny stuff, y'all.
Just have supporting documents.
Right. You know? So what constitutes as supporting documents? Like the EIN, like the LLC, or what is?
Nope. You don't have to have a registered business to claim a business on your tax returns.
Okay.
Now, you do have to have some sort of documentation to prove your income and your expenses, be it invoices, receipts. You keep a profit and loss statement. Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, like those things can be used to to put down the right amount of expenses and income. Now, you need to have a tax professional to let you know what can be written off and what cannot be.
So not your cousin Pookie.
Right.
That's in the garage.
You can't claim meals if you went to the liquor store and bought a bottle. You know, that's not a meal write-off.
Right.
People will put it on there.
Yeah.
You know, so you just got to be careful.
Very true.
Just got to be careful.
Very true.
Gotcha.
What are some things people should consider in preparation, either long before tax time or around tax time? Like, what are some, I guess, some great investment tips or things of such?
Bookkeeping. Keep track of your books, knowing what's going in and what's going out. We all do budgets for our houses, right? We do budgets for how we live. Well, some of us do.
I was going to say, some of us do. That was my next question. Like, budgeting advice, for
when
sure.
When it comes to business, you have to be able to budget. You have to be able to write it all out. And even if you're spending wildly and not making any income, just track it. You track it throughout the year. You try to consolidate it quarterly if you own a business. Now, if you're a W-2 employee, it is what it is. I think the biggest thing is that you have to decide what you want. You either want your money up front and get nothing on a tax return, or you want them to take as much as they want up front and then you get it back on the back end.
Right.
So it all depends when you're a W-2 worker. But businesses get tax breaks. People don't. That's plain and simple. Business, you get a tax break. If you're a person, you really don't.
So start a business, y'all.
Yeah, listen, I'm trying to live strictly off of EIN.
Right.
Oh, I don't even want to use my social no
EIN.
more. You know, I'll pay myself.
Yeah, this is going to be the first year that I actually claim a business as well. So.
I know that's right, period.
Get it. Now, I will give you a trick. If you're a W-2 worker and you have a side hustle, you do have the ability to report your business as a loss for up to 3 years before the IRS tells you no, it's not a business.
Okay.
So it is, I understand, the IRS do understand that, you know, when you're starting a new business, you may have a couple years of taking losses.
Right.
And they allow that to happen. But after year 3, then they start telling you, well, it's not a business, it's a hobby. So, you know, you can't claim.
You ain't making no money off it, clearly. So I have a question that's it goes into finances, but it also goes into relationships as well, because I know, you do that as well. So when it comes to the household, who typically manages the finances and why? In your opinion.
Who's the best at it?
The women.
No. I mean, listen. In your specific relationship, who's the best at it? You know, the thing about gender roles is that we make it a solid foundation for our relationships, but the truth is it's not a gender role. It's what is your role? What are you best at? Like, I'm not gonna be the one that's saying I'll be the one to manage the money because I'm the man and she's smarter with money than me.
How typically they see it.
It's like, no, babe, you handle the money because you know you're better at it. So why would I be the one to be like, yeah, I'm gonna handle it? No, I'm not gonna do that. No, I'll let you take care of that.
Okay, yeah. Got it. Because that's definitely an issue sometimes in a household, but it's always the one who's bad with money who wants to manage the money.
Well, then it's also that we have to take in consideration who's bringing in the money.
Yeah.
Because if you want to be the one to manage the money, then you can't be like, well, you got to be the one to bring in the money. You know, we got this whole thing that. Never mind. I ain't even finna get into that. No.
You a life coach too. Don't get it twisted.
We have this whole thing, this whole mentality that you're supposed to be a certain person in a relationship. You're supposed to be the man, so you're supposed to be the breadwinner, and that's not true. It's like, I'm gonna be a person that can provide, but if she can make more money than me, then yes, make more money than me. Like, period. I need you to do that because you have the capability of it. My pride is not included, you know, but...
That's the problem, though, because a lot of men's pride is included, and they
because
feel
because a lot of women treat them like they ain't shit. Excuse me.
No. Okay. You can curse on this podcast.
Thank you. If they're not, if they don't bring it in. Like, it's a mentality. Either you need to bring as much as me or more than me, or we're not going to work. You know, so when you have that mentality, of course men are going to have that ego when it comes to it. It's like, all right, I got to be the breadwinner. So it creates jealousy. You know, it creates competition in your relationship. It creates a lot of bad intentions because you have this sense of, I have to be this way. Because you have the pressure, I have to be this way. A man's worth is based on his pocket strength in this world.
I hear a lot of men say that.
And that's just what it is.
I hear a lot
that's
of men
what it
say
is.
that.
No matter how you word it, a woman is worried about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's because 9 times out of 10, and I'm just outside, this is me speaking objectively, there's a lot of women that's dealt with, I took care of a man in one point of my life. He took advantage of that. I won't do that again. I don't want to put myself in that situation anymore.
And I guess it just depends on the man. You know what I mean? That really depends on the man, and if he's even a man. I think a lot of times, even with women, we have a habit of placing these men in these positions, and they're not even equipped
or ready at all.
That's true.
And likewise, even with women, men do the same thing. They place these women in these positions, and they're just not equipped for that specifically, or just equipped to manage the money, or equipped to manage the household, or whatever it is.
We do that in all our relationships.
Absolutely.
Not just our romantic relationship, in our relationship. We put our friends in certain positions.
Yeah, we have a perspective of where we think that people should be and what they should be doing.
It's a sense of ownership. See, that's why I'm not a real big on titles, because titles give you a sense of ownership.
My Lord, wow.
If this is my car is supposed to do the things I want my car to do.
Got it.
If this is my woman's supposed to do the things I want my woman to do.
Gotcha.
But she's her own person.
Right.
And what happens when the car doesn't work like you want it to work no more?
You get mad.
You get mad and you switch up.
And
you trade it in.
You want to trade.
So what happens when a woman is not doing what I want her to do?
I like that.
There we go.
I like that
Come
analogy.
on now.
Okay. All right. So
women in cars.
Right. So is that why men love cars so much?
Listen.
They can do whatever they want to that car.
But I mean, it's the same with women too. It's like when it comes to relationships, we have an ownership.
Right.
We don't like another woman reaching out to our man, because then there's a problem. Right. And if the man flirts back or entertains that because they're liking the validation from the acknowledgement, because everyone likes that validation. Yeah. I mean, there's no way you can't sit here and say, oh, I got my person, and when somebody else validates I'm looking good, I'm not going to feel good about it. I might flirt a little bit back, or you may not. But the thing is that it's going to happen.
Right.
But when you have that sense of ownership, it's like, what you all kikiing in her face for?
Exactly, because she's not that funny.
Hey, neither are you.
You ain't cute at all.
But you choose your battles. Like, if there's guys that hit on my girlfriend all the time, and I just laugh. I'm like, well, if they ain't hitting on you, what I want you for?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just plain and simple.
Right.
If they don't want you, then why would I want you? It's not about what they do; it's what you do with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and then you also have to have a level of forgiveness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they may do something with it that you don't like. To them it might have seemed harmless. To them it may have seemed in a different context. But in my eyes, it's like, oh yeah, you disrespecting me. When the truth is, they're probably just acknowledging or just enjoying the attention.
Right.
And you got to be okay with that. If you're grounded enough in what you guys have, then that is not going to shake what you guys have.
Gotcha. So how important is it for men and women to be on the same page as it relates to finances?
It's very important because you guys have to have a goal in mind for what you want to do. If you're doing this way with his money and she's doing this way with her money, and you guys are not aligning it, then it's going to be a little difficult for you guys to be together in that aspect. Now, if you're rich and he's rich and y'all don't really care about that, then it's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? But if you guys are trying to blend your lives together, it's a little bit different. Now, there are couples that don't have that problem because they don't live together. They're okay with that. They don't have to live together. They still do everything together. Her finances is hers, his is his. It don't cross. But that's their dynamic.
Exactly.
That's what works for them.
And that's what we have to understand. What works for some people may not work for other people. What works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. And that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
It's okay.
So I have another question.
Okay.
In your opinion, and this, I'm laughing because I have my answer already, but who do you think spends the most money out of women in the bed?
I'll drink to that.
Because you probably think that I think a certain way, but I really, I'm curious to hear what you think.
Who spend the most money?
Out of women and men, who do you think spends the most money? Honestly.
Men.
Okay.
I like that.
I love that.
I love that for you.
No, it's the truth.
Yeah.
Because you would think that with women, it's like, okay, you guys have this, you like bags, you like clothes, you like shoes. But it's like when men make purchases, they're impulsive and they're big.
Oh, my God.
Most of the times they're impulsive and they're huge versus our little $400, maybe $100 here, $50 here. It'd be like $2,000. Like,
but
we want to go buy a motorcycle.
We don't really shop like that. Let's look at quantity and quality. Quantity and quality.
Right.
You know, so we'll go spend this big amount of money because it's quality.
right.
But y'all are spending these little amount of money because you do it very often. So, you know, because I mean, only a woman can go to a thrift store and get an outfit that looks like it was $5,000.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
For a man, for me to buy a suit, I can't spend anything less than $200, $300 per suit. You know, because that's the only way it's gonna work. Right. I can't go someplace and buy clothes because it won't fit me. I can't find clothes that fit me in stores now. So, you know, it's a little bit different. But I do say men spend more money because I've seen men cash out women just because she asked for it and she cute.
Right. Oh yeah. Now they do spend a lot of money on that. Trying to impress.
Yes.
You gonna buy my lunch and they cash out, and I was like, you don't even know her. Why would you know?
Because that's the dynamic that we live in, and men feel like they have to have a certain amount of money to date certain women. So it's always like an impress thing. Like, oh yeah, I got that.
But whose fault is that really? It's the women's fault.
That's the city girl's fault.
That's a woman's fault.
Girl's fault.
Oh really?
That's the city girl's fault. Yes, because they came out with like.
So to me, that's interesting that a lot of people, and it's a lot of men that do view it that way. They do view it that, okay, it's the woman's fault in that aspect, right? But this is because men been blaming women since the beginning of time. Men been blaming Adam blamed Eve. Because first of all, let me take it there real quick.
Ooh, let's go.
Let me take it there real quick. First of all,
you guys said it was Duke sale.
Oh yeah, let me get that cup.
When God, you know, before Eve was even, came to life, before that was even a thing, God had simple instructions for Adam. Now, when Eve was made from Adam, what I noticed is, and men do this a lot too, is God gave Adam instruction. Did he not? Okay. Now, he did say y'all, but ultimately he gave that to Adam. Okay. You're supposed to lead.
Preacher.
Okay. Now, if a man is called to lead, if that's what God, so Adam, it don't matter what said from the enemy to Eve. She said, "Hey, Adam, you can come on and you can eat this free. That's cool. It's all right." And here he go. Okay. All right. But God told you. So how is it my fault? I might have pressured you. I might have, yeah, I wasn't right either. But I'm just saying, he gave you the instruction, and you're called to lead. So how is it the woman's fault, really?
Simple. God created man to serve.
Quick on his feet.
Absolutely.
It was you are to tend my fields. You are to keep everything in order because this is the garden I set for you.
Right.
He made Eve as a companion, right? So what God did was give a man a purpose,
right?
And then he gave him a distraction. So when Eve gave him that distraction from his purpose, it doomed the whole garden. So we blame Eve because Eve was distracting the man from his purpose instead of helping him go towards his purpose.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
And that's the same thing in today's society.
I like that.
Like if a man is practicing with his purpose, his woman or his mate, I can't say woman anymore, apologies, but no, that's just real.
Yeah,
no, it's a lie.
But his mate is supposed to help him follow his purpose,
right?
And then she benefits, or they benefit off of this man following their purpose. But when you start distracting the man from his purpose, then you see turmoil in your relationships. You see it.
Okay.
It happens all the time. So it can be something simple, like a man can be distracted easily. We're visual creatures. We're visual creatures. Something is shiny, we like, ooh, shiny. That's just So if we're not really focused on our purpose, and that's Adam's fault. Because he lost sight of his purpose. No,
that's all I was saying.
I'm saying it's Adam's fault because he lost sight of his purpose.
Right.
But Eve has to take the blame because she distracted him from
and now that you broke it down like that, I understand that. And I can see that. And ultimately, because we can point the finger at both, And honestly, it is both of their faults if you think about it.
Because they made the decision as a unit.
Exactly, and that was the biggest.
Yep.
Oh my God, that was the biggest lesson.
Yeah.
Because if Eve would have took the apple and Adam would have been like, nah, God said no, I ain't touching that.
Right.
Then Eve would have been the only one. But they decided together to make that.
Absolutely.
So, and the reason why men blame women for a lot of things is because we have a tendency of being in control, of wanting to be in control of everything. We want to be that dominant creature because that's what the world tells us to be. You have to be dominant. You have to be in charge. But then you go into, and I like to use this a lot in my speaking, when you talk about polyamorous relationships, they have different genres of it. You know, you have dominant women and submissive men. You know what I'm saying? And it works. Their dynamic works. You know, so we create, I think it was the New Testament where man decided that we supposed to have dominion over women. That was the New Testament. So you mean to tell me we had a whole lifespan of Bible. And then we decided, we're just going to be dominant over women because we were stronger. That was it. We had the masculine energy to be stronger. And women has gotten to that point to where it's like, okay, this is the man. He's a protector. He's bigger. He's stronger. He can fight off the wild animals. He can go hunt for the food. All we got to do is birth the kids and tend to the house. You know, so that's something that was created, and it's just something that's grown over the centuries. So
wow. So I guess we're even with Samson and Delilah. That strength. Didn't she take it? Didn't she
cut that off real quick, didn't you?
Lord, so men, be careful. Be careful, but also, you know, we all just have to be careful. Honestly, we do. We all do. And that as it relates to that, but that's a whole other show. That's a whole other show.
Ooh, listen.
So
yes. So I guess all right. So this or that, joint account or separate accounts, married or like relationships. It doesn't matter. Joint account or separate accounts.
Both.
Now you gotta pick one.
Pick one. This or that.
Separate accounts.
Separate accounts.
Why?
Because my real answer is both. But no, I think that, you know, you're supposed to have money set off for you. He's supposed to have money set off for them, and then you guys are supposed to have an account together, taking care of the household. So,
I agree with you.
Yeah, I know you have to.
I feel like your joint account should consist of like bills for the house, things, you know, rainy day funds for the house.
Bills for the house. That's the joint. What you do with it,
like,
whatever you do with it is what you do with it. So if I want to take a vacation, I can go into my money, take a vacation for both of us. And if you want to take a vacation, you go into your money and you can pay for the vacation for both of us.
My mom got joint account and her account.
Listen,
she got
what
a
they
joint
say.
account
One thing
and
about
her
women,
account. Okay, my stepdad just know that when he goes to buy something, it better be some money in it.
But see,
I don't know what's moving in that
think
account.
the problem is with that too is that it's a trust thing. You know, it's like, okay, I want separate accounts because just in case it don't work out, I still got my money. That's the wrong mentality. Or you want to go buy that new shiny toy that's $2,000. We do everything with intention, right?
Everything is
so how about we switch to intention and say we're just having separate accounts just so we can have each other's back just in case
things
something happens.
Life does happen.
When you put it that way, it's real cute.
You have to look at, but that's how you got to look at relationships. If we're looking at relationships for a means to escape, then you're gonna always find a means to escape.
Okay,
that's very true.
I like that.
You know,
I like that. Yeah, you gotta put it in a way that sounds all cute and juiced up and caked up and like, hey, this is so that I can help you. I gotta have your back.
But you gotta mean it. You know, everything's
course.
with attention. Everything you put out always comes back.
Exactly.
You know?
That's very true. It's a boomerang effect. Very true. And words are very powerful as well. Okay, so prenup or no?
Yes.
Why?
Prenup. Because marriage is a business. It's a business deal. I mean, yes, you have love, you have in the eyes of God, but at the end of the day, you're signing actual documentation saying we are together legally. You know, so prenups just protects both of you. You know.
A lot of people are a little shaken by that though, because it's like, you don't trust me, you think we're going to get divorced? What's the problem? What's the problem?
But life happens.
But see, here's the thing that people mistake about prenups. Prenups don't just have what happens if you guys divorce. It also has what happens in case they die.
That's true.
You know?
Okay.
It also what happens with the children in case you guys something happens to one of the other parents.
Okay.
You know, like the prenup is not just this is what happens if we split up. It's clauses in your prenup that actually supposed to cover all aspects of your relationship.
Okay.
So.
Wow. And I don't think people really know that. They
True.
just hear prenup and they're like, oh, so
money
if we break up, you pretty much saying like, I don't want you touching none of my shit. They're not thinking about.
So does that include like sickness as well?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Prenups have that information in there too.
Wow.
You just have to have the right lawyer come up with the right prenuptial agreement that actually is fair for both parties. That's all.
Got you.
That's all.
Okay. What are some couple investment ideas? Togetherness. Together. Goals together. Some good couple investment ideas.
Investment how? Like, what do you mean investment ideas?
Anything that's going to radiate income.
And just, that's
some good investment ideas.
That's bringing revenue.
Because a lot of people know about Airbnbs and things like that, but...
I put it like this. Do not get in business with your mate.
Okay.
Unless you can handle what happens with it.
Okay.
Business and pleasure never mix well.
Right.
Okay.
So if you're going to invest in something that you both are not just passionate about, but something that you both are okay with if it fails.
Okay.
Because when it comes down to it, if my woman is investing in something that I'm doing and it's something that I'm passionate about, then I'm going to want to control it to a level to where this is my passion.
Right.
You're here to help me. We need to do this my way. But if it's something that we're just both interested in getting into, and if it fails, it fails, and we can budget it to where it fits both her account, my account, our account type deal, then it works, But other than that, I mean, baby, what you invest in.
Right. Don't get in business with your partner. You do your own thing. I support you.
Unless it is something.
Unless it's something that you both are really passionate about. And you both
because
are
I
really
can see it being like that, where it's like I came up with the idea, so like this is my thing, and
and that's why you do have to be passionate about whatever it is you're doing when you're joining forces, relationships or whatever. You have to be passionate about it together, because how can you get anywhere unless you agree?
Exactly.
You can't go nowhere unless you agree. And when it comes to that, it's like, okay, well, one person might not want to do it like that or whatever, and that's okay, because in business, period, don't matter who it is, in business it's gonna be some ups and downs, it's gonna be some disagreements, right? But if you have the mentality of, okay, look, let's just, what is the end goal? Do we have the same end goal?
Right.
If we can get past weed through the BS, we could just focus on that end goal and we can get there.
Exactly.
But we just got to weed through it and we got to push through.
And you have to be open. You have to be open to, okay, maybe this doesn't work. Maybe my partner can make it work better than I can. You have to be open. You have to be able to share that with that person.
You got to be like, listen, I ain't that smart. Look, I ain't that smart, babe. So like,
I'm gonna need you to help me with.
I'm gonna need your help, babe.
That's it.
And utilize what you're good at. Like, emphasize on the parts that you're good at.
Emphasize the part that you're good at.
Like, if you're great at managing the money, you manage the money. If you're great at the creative side of everything, you be do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, don't.
You have to work as a team, essentially.
I'm not gonna do the bookkeeping if I can't do math. Like, I can't count.
Like, dang, make it make sense.
No, that's when it's okay to like incorporate your partner. Like, babe,
like, because I ain't good at this.
I'm gonna need you.
And then also, if you're going to invest with your partner, you just definitely got to make sure it's something that they're interested in. Because your partner would do it for you because it's for you.
Yeah.
They may not like it. They may not even care about it, but they're going to do it for you because it's for you. So you also have to look into that. If it start to fail, their enthusiasm about doing it is going to be like, well, quit. You know what I'm saying? But because they're not into it. They was just doing that because you were into it.
We're gonna keep putting money into this family business.
Right. I'm not gonna keep putting money into this. This isn't working for us,
So that takes me to what's the movie we were talking about with Taraji?
What
is the name of it? Goodness.
Damn it! You know when she went crazy
when she
man had this
guy.
idea.
Oh my God!
I can't remember the name.
Acrimony.
Acrimony. That's what it was.
She was delusional.
So
She went from
okay,
crazy to rage to delusion.
She went through all the 5 stages of grief. She did anger, all of that, bargaining, all of that. But her bargaining was a little. So situations like that, in your opinion. So if there's like a situation where you know you have this man or this woman who has this dream, they got this goal, you know, they're really interested in this, and you see that, so you're pouring into that, you know, you're supportive, you're doing all of that, and then it comes to that time where it just don't take off fast enough, or it just doesn't, you know, on your timeline, right? Okay, and then it gets to the point to where now you're like, okay, you done got we got to get an electrician out here because you done, you know, this, or you know, I done sold my mom's house to help you. It's all of these different things. So how do you feel one should handle situations like that when it comes down to something's just not taking off fast enough?
So when it came, especially that movie, I think Taraji was right in her mentality. It was like, okay, I've sacrificed these decades for this dream of yours. It didn't work in the timeline. I'm tired. Enough is enough.
And get a job.
You know, get a job. You know, enough is enough.
Right.
You know, I let you get with my sister's husbands and their business. And I tried to help you messed that up. Right. You know, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And he left. He left. And then the business took off.
Yeah.
And what did he do?
He
did. He wrote her a check.
He did, because she was.
That's why I said they're both correcting their stances.
He wrote her a check. After that should have been in the movie.
Baby. But before he even did that, he wanted her back.
He did.
He wanted her back.
He did.
She did.
She didn't want him,
and she couldn't see it though. And that's what it goes back to. And not to say she didn't believe in it, because she did. She invested in it. So let's not get that twisted.
She did invest in it. She believed in it 100%.
She believed in it. But I think and to be fair, it does come a time where you do have to be like, okay, now you do, okay, this isn't working, sweetheart. And I'm not saying it's not working right now. I would never say it like that. But you know what I mean? Like, okay, we understand it's not working right now. I'm not saying give up on that, but let's try something else as well.
Exactly.
Because we have to bring in income. Because I done sold my mama house.
Right.
You know, I don't.
And the lights is off now. Okay.
And you know what? And like I said, she was complete. When she said she was done, she was completely justified in that mentality. You know,
she just wasn't justified in going crazy after he done broke you off.
But even then, he was like, "Look."
Yeah. And most men wouldn't do that.
No, he broke off too. Like, you gave me all these years. You held me. You held me down. Not only did I break you off $10 million, I bought your mama house back and put it in your name. Like, so I got you back. Most men would have been bitter, like, oh, you ain't hold me down. You ain't support me. Nah, you good. But he went off and he broke her off. And then he was divorced before he even started dating the old girl. You know, now. It's kind of funny. It's the same chick he cheated on her with back in college, but you know, it's like
I think that's what really did it for her. Like, this bitch again,
and then I can't have no kids. I done
ran my car into the trailer.
That was you. You done ran your car into the trailer. Like, that was. Oh yeah, she was. Ooh,
that was
crazy.
She was a force.
That should have been enough for him to be like, I'm done.
No, that's how I'm gonna relate to women like that now. Like, that is a force. That woman is a force.
She was pissed.
Yeah, she was. But like I said, if she would have just took that $10 million and just went on by her life, she would have probably been happy. But it was more of the bitterness that she was holding on to, and the pride behind. It was like, I dedicated all my life to get this man, this, and this, and now he made it, and he's with this other chick. Well, you left him. That was your decision. That was your choice. You made the choice to leave.
He tried to fight for it, even after it took off. Like, listen, and she like, nope. Because she let her family get in her
head. And that's why it's so important. We can't be bitter, y'all. We cannot be bitter in anything we do, because you just never know. And not just because of that, but we don't need to live with things like that in our spirit. We don't need to have those type of feelings festering and just being bitter. Not as a man, because there's some bitter men too. But not as a woman either. Like, we have to deal with that stuff.
We all are damaged.
Absolutely.
We all have. If you've lived any type of this life, you have some traumas that you're carrying. So we just have to be mindful what those traumas are and be able to recognize them. You know. So the problem is that once someone trauma is triggered, you know, they don't know how to act to that. They don't know how to react to that. Yes. And then they destroy their relationships. And then the people that want to make it work with them or want to continue dealing with them, you can't even get through to them because they're so angry.
Yeah, but it's because they can't really identify the trauma. Sometimes they don't even know what's really going on. They just know they mad. You know, they haven't learned to really identify their triggers and what is actually going on.
Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes it's also that I don't want to go through the same thing I went through that caused this trauma in the first place. And that's completely understandable.
Yes.
You know, I completely understand that. You know, and there's sometimes you get it with these different situations and you notice that they may be moving in the same way that somebody else was moving in.
Right.
So you automatically
patterns.
I ain't finna do this pattern again. I've seen this before.
I've seen
this,
But the problem is it's a different person.
Absolutely.
You might have seen this pattern before, but you didn't see this pattern in this person.
Exactly. And I can see that, and I agree with that. I do think that we do have a habit of looking at pattern, and we judge people, and we automatically write them off because it's like, nope, seen this before, not gonna deal with this.
And you go hard on your boundaries now because you be like, oh no, what you won't do this time.
And it's like, I'm not.
He be like, what are you talking about? You be like, no, this time you're not gonna do that to me.
Or the worst case, or another thing I've noticed too is when people start feeling like they see a pattern, they start looking for validation of how they feeling.
Oh yeah.
And one thing I know for sure, if you look for a reason to have a problem, you're gonna find a reason.
Because they need to justify why they feel that way.
Yeah. You're gonna find
Especially if somebody tells you like, no girl, it's okay. They be like, no, but I need you to hear something else.
Right.
Hold on, let me tell you some more.
At that point, you want it to be.
Let me tell you some more. Then you tell me because I need to know.
I need to know. You know. Well, let me show you this.
Right.
Now, does this make sense to you?
I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. Yeah. No, I feel that for sure.
And then what we also like to do is we like to go to people who's going to validate how we feel.
Exactly.
You know, we I love my little dot of friends because I'll go to them and I'll complain and they be like, yeah, you know you was wrong, right?
Yeah.
I was like, what you mean I'm wrong? I wasn't wrong.
They
was like, man, I feel you, bro, but you wrong, bro.
That's need people like that.
You need people to hold you accountable because there's too many people who don't want to shake the boat or they know they know what type of friend they have, so they be like, do I feel like dealing with this shit?
I definitely need it because I'm bold. Like, I told you the other day, I was like, I'm belligerent when I want to be.
Yeah.
Like I don't care what you say. Your opinion doesn't matter. What I say is right. So, you know, I need that though. I really do. I do need that sometimes.
You definitely need. We all need that accountability, and we just, you know, it's all about. We have to be uncomfortable to get where we gotta go, to get where God have us to be. We have to be uncomfortable, and we have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and we gotta get used to it, and we just gotta work through it and know the difference.
Exactly.
What bothers me though, I hate to say it like this because I love God.
We do. I love him.
God, you my dude, but God, when you read the Bible, it glorifies the struggle. I hate that. I hate it. Why do I have to struggle to prove I'm faithful? Like, I don't understand that. But the Bible is full of stories of people that overcome struggles. You know, and that was my only problem when it came to religion because I don't believe I'm religious anymore. No, not at all.
Religious. I'm more spiritual.
Yeah. But the reason behind that is because I don't feel like I have to suffer for me to have faith in God. I don't need I'm tired of thanking God for crumbs. If that makes any sense.
I
you know,
understand.
oh, you got me out this problem. Thank you, God. You know, get me to a point where I ain't gotta have this type of problem. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only thing. I want to hear it. Help me.
Look. I understand that because, you know, we are all human, and I do understand that because even I feel like that as well. And it's a lot of times where you like, okay, now God, now you don't. How much will I got to go through?
Right.
My God. You love me. You say I'm your favorite, and all it is, but help me.
Help me,
please. I hate telling people like, do you know who I am?
Right.
I'm God's favorite.
Help me. But then, if we take it a step further, it's almost like, okay, well, Jesus suffered.
He did.
He paid the ultimate price.
He absolutely did.
And we may not understand, and I think that's the thing. We don't understand the mind of God.
No.
So we'll never understand. We'll never have those type of answers until we face them.
Right.
But it's like, okay, well, Lord, I trust you. I know this is a process. We got to be shaken. You know, we gotta go through the process and no, it don't feel good. I don't like it. Why?
Right.
You know, but I trust you, and that's a choice.
Yeah, that's definitely a choice.
That is definitely a choice.
That's a choice. So,
that's a choice.
That's a whole other
whole other conversation. Listen.
But we definitely got to bring you on for like a different segment as well.
I would love that.
You know, like have a
that.
panel of men because, you know, when, like I said, when
Good
we
luck
get
with
on
that.
here. No, you know, I definitely think we can do it. I think we can do it at some point because I feel like
we don't like to talk.
Really?
A lot of
you like to talk?
I'm different. Listen, I'm a little different.
Well, we gonna obviously have some men who like to talk, but
when I talk relationships, and this is just what I've noticed, when I talk relationships, I hear a lot from women.
Okay.
But men don't really want to talk about it. They really don't want to have too many words when it comes to talking about that type of stuff. So I don't understand why, but you know,
it just might just be like the space. It's not a space for them to have those type of conversations. So it just really depends on what type of space you're offering. Because this space right here, like, you can say what you want. But the thing is, like, obviously with her and I, we're just two women. We can go based off of a woman's perspective, but we definitely want to open the floor to have more men on the show and get y'all's perspective as well.
Yeah, because we need that.
Because it helps us better understand.
We need
y'all.
that. And that was one of our goals.
We're simple.
No, you're not.
Men are simple.
As simple as you would like. We're very simple too.
Women? No, women have never been simple.
We are very simple.
But we do need more men. We need more men to speak up. We need more men to be honest. We need more men to speak for men. Because men, a lot of men like to speak for women. But we need more men to speak for men. And we need more men to be the example and
hold
teach
other men accountable.
Yes, because that's a really big problem, and that's,
but that's not where the following's coming. You gotta understand, when men are out here and they're trying to speak, and they want to speak in these type of settings, and they want to speak in these type of topics, it's not men that's paying attention. It's not men that's watching.
Absolutely.
You know, and if there is a man that's out here talking about, like, you'll get a Kevin Samuels, you know what I'm saying, but those are rare.
Very rare.
You know, you'll get more of a Derek Jackson's than you will get a Kevin Samuels.
Right.
Even Ace Metaphor changed his rhetoric, because he was talking relationship stuff when he first came out, like actual relationships between both men and women, to talking about the behaviors of toxic men, and that's what sold him. That's why he's making the money he's making now. Yeah. You know, that's so we have to look at where is the money coming from. And the truth is from women. It's not from men. So we like to hear other men talk, you know, but when a man is sitting here talking about what's wrong, or problems that they have when it comes to dealing with women, then it's woman bashing.
Yeah, it's because it's so rare.
And
so it's like, oh, it can't be right because we barely hear this. So you got to be lying.
That's crazy.
Not too many men speak on things like that. So essentially, they look at it like, oh, that's not us. Because I know I hear certain things, and I'm like, excuse me, that is not me. I don't know that woman. I don't know who you talking about.
But because when men speak, men speak about women, a lot of times it's a stereotypical type of viewpoint.
Right.
Women do the same thing, but women tell, this ain't me. Men be like, oh, men ain't like that. Women say, nah, I ain't like that. So there's a difference. You know, it's like, oh my goodness! Like this is a whole nother conversation. How much time we got left on this show?
No, we're getting ready to wrap this up.
I just have one more last question. It's always me with the last question. But as it relates to finances, bringing it back to finances, what is your opinion in the role of a man as a provider?
So I like the phrase provider, because provider, it correlates a lot with being able to manage the finances of the house and be the breadwinner and stuff like that. But that's not what a provider is.
Absolutely not. That's not all it is.
Am I providing what you need?
Right.
Because if you making money and you can pay your own bills, then you can, you know, you don't have to struggle financially. Then why do you want somebody who can do that for you?
Right.
That's not what you need provided for you.
Right.
What do you need provided for you? Do you need emotional support? Do you need,
come on.
you know, do you need somebody to rub your feet at night because you had a long day? Like that. So when I think about being a provider, is that, are you providing what your actual mate needs?
And I'm so glad you said that. And that was a trick question. That was a trick question, because I think a lot of men and women, relate providing back to finances. And I just wanted to pick your brain about it to see where you was gonna go with it. I love that for you.
Listen.
I love that for you.
So provide money, provide service, provide a roof over your head, provide whatever.
Communication, provide protection, provide
exactly.
Y'all gotta stop creating these Superman though. Like y'all can't create the man can't provide everything.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta understand if a man's providing financial support, the emotional side ain't gonna be there. Because when we out there grinding for money, we ain't got emotions.
We heard that before.
We don't. Like when I'm doing taxes and I tell people my price is my price. I don't care what you're going through. Emotional side ain't got nothing to do with it. You're paying for a service. You know, so when we're out here think about it, Jeff Bezos, Donald Trump, Bill Gates, all these millionaires, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
They ain't got one successful relationship in their belt.
You're right. You're absolutely
You know
right.
what I'm saying? They might get a woman that loves it, have a good time, they can spend all this money on for a time being, but it's not the providing that they really need.
Right.
You know, so
and
that's just what it is.
probably run through.
I mean,
but that's the whole other conversation.
you know, we can do this all day.
But we just definitely want to thank you for coming
Yes,
through.
thank you for inviting me.
Expertise.
I appreciate
Giving
it.
us a little insight as well on relationships and things of that
Absolutely.
nature.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We definitely got to do this again.
I'm with it.
We gonna bring him back, y'all. We gotta pick his brain a little bit more. I feel like this was just surface.
Yeah.
We gonna pick his brain a little bit more and have you come back. We got some more questions.
Exactly.
I'm with it.
Definitely, we're going to put all your information so y'all can hit him up for y'all taxes.
Yes.
Follow his podcast, Man Listen, on Facebook.
I gotta get both of you guys on that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Let's do it.
Yeah, make
Let's
sure
do
you
it.
do. We ready.
But as always, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to our channel.
Hit that notification
bell. Any questions, hit us up, bearwithmepod22@gmail.com.
Yes.
We will definitely address those on our segments. And as always, we are just here and happy.
And we will see y'all next time.
Thank you. Bye.